Many versions later, 1 week later, many meeps later, many plays later, many superstitions later, 2,000-ish years later.
Many buckets later!
Meanwhile, many repressed memories later. The next morning, 1 nap later. 24 sleepless hours later. Several days later. 1 journey through space later. Much tranquility later. Many invitations later. 6 to 8 weeks later. 2 weeks later. 1 hour later. Many hours later. Several hard-hitting hours later. The next day.
1 minute and 7 seconds earlier!
1 a while later. Many miles later. The next day. 1 week later. 1 bus ride later. The next morning. Many exam questions later. The next morning. Many hours later. 2 minutes later. Several hours later. Several thousand ripped pants later. 1 hour later. Several months later. 200 whoopsies later. 6 stinky months later. Several weeks later. Later that night. Abracalater.